Oh my goodness, it's been hot. Hello, happy Friday and welcome to my podcast. So normally I would do a little preamble and then I'd do the obligatory weather. But I'm not pussyfooting around this week because it's been so hot. I think I'm going straight in there. So I don't know what it's been like where you are. I think most of Europe, or globally really, I think everyone's been seeing ridiculously hot temperatures. Horrible fires everywhere. It's been a horrible couple of weeks really, but things are recovering here now. They're going back to normal, to a normal warm summer. But actually here in Devon it was hot, but not like it was in London. And I know people have been saying, oh, it's been hot before, but we've had droughts before, which we have, but not those temperatures. So anyway, got to get that out of the way, because weather, if you're in the UK, is a big thing. If you chat to your neighbour, you will talk about the weather. If there is snow, literally it will be BBC headlines, and you'll have a reporter on the motorway bridge actually showing you, proving there is snow on the ground on the motorway. So yeah, we're a funny lot with our weather. But so it's been a frenzy really, talking about our weather in this country. But on a serious note, it's really worrying actually, wondering what things are going to be like, and the sea levels are rising, and yeah. So anyway, happy Friday. I hope things have been well with you and you've been having a crafty, creative time. I'm going to try not to say that too often. Just wanted to share you a couple of things. I've had a birthday, I think, since the last time I did a podcast. And thank you so much for all your lovely wishes and cards and gifts. And I just wanted to show you a couple of things that I've been sent that absolutely blew me away. Everything you sent was absolutely lovely. I've just got to show you these. So first of all, I'm going to show you first. I'll show you this first. First of all, I want to show you this beautiful shawl, which I'll put a close-up in so you can see it better than this, which my lovely friend Sharon created for me. I mean, the amount of time that she put into this blows my mind, and I absolutely love it. I'm going out later and I should take it with me. So thank you, Sharon, absolutely beautiful. And I think you were telling me about this lace when you were knitting it, and I had no idea it was for me. So thank you. That's the first thing. So beautiful. Oh, also, she got me this, which is absolutely beautiful, because I do love cow parsley. Oh, very spoilt. And the other thing that I really wanted to show you is Emily. Now this is from my lovely friend Vivian, who is Green Rabbit Designs, who I'm sure I've shown you. I've got lots of little girls from Vivian. And this was a lovely surprise on my birthday. Emily, actually, Vivian didn't know this, Emily is actually was my nan's name. And I love elephants. I've got lots of little elephants in glass, china, tin, pottery, and I think her little granddaughter likes elephants, and I think I'd said she's got good taste, and she remembered that and she did that for me. And this is from our yarn as well, her little cardigan. So, goodness ladies, I can't help it as well. I get quite teary, quite emotional when I get things like that. So thank you very much. And the other thing that I got for my birthday, which also was just tears, was I got a bike. I'll talk about that later. Which I was a bit wobbly on for the first few times, because I used to, when I was a little girl, and when I was older, I spent my summers on a bike. I was quite wobbly first few times out. So, yes, thank you again for that, and thank you for all your lovely messages. And that birthday's finished now, that's out the way. We don't talk about birthdays now. So, some of the things I've been working on, I've been doing some more of my We Are Family quilt for my little grandson, adding in some more animals, and I've actually got his cot now, so This has gone to red alert to get this finished. They're going away for a little break, so the aim is to have this done when they get back. But it's one of those things that, one of those projects that as soon as I finish this, I'm going to start something very similar, probably another one of Susan's designs. I'll put the link below to the pattern, but it's been an absolute joy. I've loved it. I'm not finished it quite yet, but we're getting there. The other thing I've been doing that I mentioned before, they take the mickey out of me a little bit because they say my slow stitching is very, very slow stitching. That's the point of it. So I've been doing some of the weaving that I mentioned before, where I've just literally weaved it and I'm putting rows and rows of stitching between all the weaving, which I've just chosen randomly those colours. And then I'm going to, I think, put little embroidered flowers on perhaps alternate squares, don't know yet. But that's happening, and that is happening in the background because I've also at the same time got knitting going on. I'm doing the quilt, something else that I'll show you about in a second, and the other things that I make for the shop as well. So I'm always sort of doing different things, so I'm not going to beat myself up about that too much, and that is very slow weaving. So, reading, actually, yeah. William Morris, so quite a few of our yarns that we do are arts and crafts yarns, and the reason for that is when we come up with colourways, we always sit down a few weeks in advance of when all of the colourways will actually be for sale, and we have a think about how the colourways fit in with each other. Rather than just thinking let's do a blue and green colourway, we'll have a look at something that we want to take inspiration from any particular week, and recently that's been William Morris, and I've got a little box actually, which I'll show you later, which is, I've got lots of William Morris things I love. I love the whole aesthetic, the fact that he was very much inspired by nature, and that I think he was a teenager and he went to the Great Exhibition, and he was quite an impressionable teenager at that point. And I think he was, although it was all about choice and all of these wonderful things that you could buy, it also meant mass production and poor working conditions, really. And I think he dedicated his life to creating handmade pieces more of art, so quality, I suppose, rather than mass production. And I just find him captivating. I think he's as relevant today as he was 100 years ago. And so they inspire quite a few of our designs, and sometimes of our colourways, and sometimes I've got quite a few William Morris books, and sometimes we'll put a colourway up, like I've got 3 here to show you actually. I haven't brought them all along because we'll do a colourway. So this one is Iris, and it's not, you're probably thinking, well, it doesn't look like the Iris I know, but this is the design Iris that he did. And a lot of his designs, actually I don't know at the time how many of his designs at the time came in different colourways. I know now you can get the strawberry thief in probably 8 different colours. Back then you probably couldn't get 8 colours, but you got some. But this was the Iris design that inspires it. So this one is Iris, and this one is Jasmine, and Chrysanthemum. And the idea with these is, if I hold them up, that the idea is that these sort of all will go together, that they'll all fit together and gel. And I think there's 3 or 4 other different ones. So I just thought it was nice for you to sort of understand what gets us thinking when we're thinking of what we're going to do. So we do look at designs that we like, and then we look at how that fits into the colourways that we want to have. So there's some of the arts and crafts ones, and I'm just fascinated by William Morris because he was kind of so far ahead of his time, really, sort of understanding the effect it would have on workers and things like that. Excuse me, have a drink of water. I've been drinking so much water and gallons, literally. And mint tea. We've got some mint in the garden. We've got 2 or 3 different varieties, and one of them seems to have taken over, as mint does. I made the mistake of not putting them in pots, of just putting it into the ground, into the herb trough that we've got. And one of the varieties of mint nobody seems to like. So it's that mint I'm not keen on. So I'm actually using it in mint teas. It's absolutely lovely. Yeah, so that's the William Morris. Talking about William Morris, I've also got, I think it was a mug that came in a box, and I always keep all things like that. And I've got a little box of deliciousness. Do you have special things that you've perhaps been sent, or just bits of fabric that you love, and you maybe used some of them or you're saving them? And I've got that. I've got a little box of deliciousness with tiny, these are William Morris as well. May Morris, this is May Morris. So I've got some tiny little, what are they called, these tiny ones? Anyway, tiny little squares, can't remember what they're called now. Brain fade. And these, which I've actually used some of these, I can't remember what it was now. I think someone may have bought this for me and I can't think what it was. I wish I knew. I've used some of them on something that I've made before, and these are left over. It's like a little treasure trove. Oh, this, which I'm going to make into a cushion for my husband. That's sort of saving that up for autumn. Some more of these. Oh, these are what Jules gave me. Now, Jules gave these to me. This is what my friend Carrie sent me. Carrie, if you're watching, I still haven't used these. I'm saving them. Beautiful bird fabric. And Jules, So Sweet Violet, you sent me these if you're watching. A couple of Christmases ago. I can't actually bring myself to cut in them yet, so they're in my favourite little box of bits. Do you have something like that? And I just love to know it's there. Look, I'm putting them all back, and I should get them out and pet them next week again. And then little yarns and tapestry walls and things like that I pick up. Do you do that? Please tell me you do. I just know they're there. And my husband will say, but you've got some of those. That's not the point. I know I've got some of those, and these go with those. And one day I will think, I know what I've got. Something else I've started. If you are one of our lovely patrons, I've just put a video up literally about half an hour ago. So hopefully this will go up today, Friday. Possibly it will go up Saturday, but anyway, there is a video there explaining how I did this. And what I've been doing is I've been doing some experimentation with bleach on fabric, which I've done before. And I've done lots of things like this in the past, and then I'm getting hot. And then you think, oh, I've forgotten I did that. And I've done it with all different shapes. And in the little video, I show this one with the circles and how I went about it. But basically, it's using bleach on fabric to take the colour out. And I've made a little bouquet from it. So I'm just starting to stitch that now. And I'll put the finished one up on there when I've done it. And show you how I've done it on the Patreon video. But basically, you can take colour out of fabric by using bleach. It doesn't work on everything, works on some things better than others. And the colours that you have left behind, you know, when you've taken the colour out, are different each time, and I love it. So I've got a selection of threads. And this actually, Sharon, You bought me this too. This is some linen thread, so I'm going to use that for the stems. So that's my project. I've got to think about it actually because I want to film doing some of it. So I might try and do it over the weekend, or I might do that on Monday. But I'm enjoying that because it's different. It's embroidery again, but I like to manipulate fabrics. I like to change fabrics. So I like to scrunch them up, or do printing on them, or dye them, or lino printing, which I used to do a lot of years and years ago. I used to make project bags, and I used to make Kindle cases and things like that. And I used to do lino prints that I'd done myself, and I used to stamp them on. Go on, waffling again. But anyway, there's going to be a set of all of those videos to show you. To say thank you if you're one of our patrons, they'll be on there, and I'll show you on here as well what I've been doing as well. So I've also been doing some visible mending, and when I used to do mending, I would always try and do it so you couldn't see it. And now, of course, this movement, well, I say movement, I'm aware of it, it's probably been around forever, of visible mending, of actually embracing the mending, I think is lovely. So I've done a jumper of my husband's, which he's had for about 30 years. Our boys were little when he got that, and it had a big hole here. I've mended that. Oh, and I'm loving doing that, just sitting there doing it. And I've also got a little blouse that I made, again, a couple of years ago. And I love doing all the hemming all around the outside, but there was a lot on this blouse because it sort of went up and there was a split in the back. And I've sat and done that and loved it. And it just makes wearing it more special. It's like, I made this and I did the seams. I've been wearing that actually on my bike rides. Yeah, my bike rides. Oh, the other thing is if you've been watching our Untrodden Ways video, and again, I'll leave a link below, which is kind of like a little vlog. We just got an allotment and we're loving it. We're spending a lot of time up there. My own back garden is being neglected a little bit actually, because it was in a bit of a sorry state when we got it, and it's quite big, and we've got about 3/4 of it cleared now and planted, and I'm loving that. So I'm cycling up there most days and back again with produce. Sharon, if you're watching, not flowers, but I came back with some radish in my basket the other day, feeling very pleased with myself. And obviously you have to go up there and water in all this heat, and it's watering cans. I'm getting quite fit walking around with watering cans, watering it. So I'm just going to show you, we've only got a small update this week for the shop because we've had 2 big updates with sweater quantity yarns going in, and what we're trying to do is keep the stock in the shop because it's nothing more frustrating. And I know you used to message me and say, it's not there, you've shown this yarn and it's not there. So we're really trying hard to every week we're just dyeing a few extra of a lot of the colours to keep the colours in there, so that if you do see one you like, it's not gone when you go to get it. And we've done a couple of big shop updates, so this is just a small one. I can't actually find the minis, but I will put a picture of it in. But they are 3. Now these were inspired by a poem, which I will read to you. I'll read you the poem. It's by Rudyard Kipling. And I've put some of the yarns on to show you as I'm doing it. So what we did is we wanted to do botanical kind of colourways this week, and last week we did our folklore yarns, which again I'll probably just put a picture of a few of those in now because I haven't brought them along and I haven't shown them to you before. But some of our folklore yarns very much inspired by that kind of mystical, magical feeling you get when you're deep in a wood. There's something about it that makes you feel like you're in that really special place, and they're the kind of colourways inspired by that, and we've called that our folklore collection. And this week we wanted to do more sort of softer botanical colourways, and we kind of were inspired by one of our favourite poems, which I'll read to you. And so the yarns are named after that. And it's actually, Ralph Fiennes reads this much better than I do, if you want to hear it read really well. They shut the road through the woods 70 years ago. Weather and rain have undone it again, and now you would never know there was once a road through the woods before they planted the trees. It is underneath the coppice and heath and the thin anemones. Only the keeper sees that where the ringdove broods and the badgers roll at ease, there was once a road through the woods. Yet, if you enter the woods of a summer evening late, when the night air cools on the trout-ringed pools, where the otter whistles his mate, they fear not men in the woods because they see so few. You will hear the beat of a horse's feet and the swish of a skirt in the dew, steadily cantering through the misty solitudes, as though they perfectly knew the old lost road through the woods. But there is no road through the woods. Oh, I love that poem. So the colourways here are inspired by that poem because it's a beautiful poem. It deserves to have colourways. So this first one is A Summer Evening Late, which is really soft pinks and caramels with an olive accompaniment. I would say sage, but I think it's more olive and a touch of the caramel coming through with the olive there. So that's A Summer Evening Late. And then this one, so they're kind of a fade, but they're not, they all look beautiful together, but they're not designed specifically this colour, then this colour, then this colour. We just thought they all went beautifully together. And then this one is called The Night Air Cools. And this one, looking at it actually, we've got chrysanthemum there, would go really nicely with chrysanthemum. So the greens are different, but that's chrysanthemum. That goes really nicely with that actually. And this is aqua, whereas that sky blue, this is more aqua blue and some sky blue. And again, lovely soft pink and sort of pistachio, water pistachio green in that one. Oh, that's lovely. And then this one is the title of the poem, The Way Through the Woods, which is lilacs and olives and sort of plummy rose pinks and aqua. And there is also a mini set, which I have not brought with me, but I'll put a picture in here, which is a kind of combination of all of those colours all mixed in together. The only thing I should say is these are the arts and crafts yarns that I showed you earlier are on our 4-ply sock. These are on our 2-ply sock. All the same sock weight, but just different construction. These are 2-ply. The minis of the same name are actually on 4-ply. Just in case you were thinking you would mix them. I mean, it wouldn't make any difference from the weight, but it knits up differently. And the only other thing is I've been making some box pouches. I've said this to you before, I use these for all sorts of things. You can use it to put a cake yarn in and a sock, if you're knitting a sock, something small, very small, because it's only tiny. But that's what I keep if I'm knitting socks. I have a couple on my desk that I put things in, cottons, all sorts of things. They're great for your bedside. You can put if you take your earrings off of a night, or you have a hand cream. Absolutely anything. I love these little things. And so this one has got polka dot in. Again, I don't know how this keeps happening. And a little simple flower and some gingham, and that's on black linen. And then this is on, I do not have much of this left now, only a tiny bit of this lovely apple green linen with a cotton lawn lining, and I have 2 of those, and they've got 2 different little embroideries on them. And on the back there's a strip of the same fabric. And this one, which has also got polka dot lining, and this is, there's a box pouch And there's also a larger project bag that would take 3 or 4 skeins. And there's also, which I haven't brought along, a smaller project bag. And this one here, which is lovely. I brought this along because I thought this, should you want to be matchy-matchy, I thought that went really lovely with that. So this is the way through the woods. So that's all I'm going to natter on about really, because I'm hot and bothered. And you've heard enough of me chatting. So let me know what you're up to. And have you ever tried bleach, not printing, but pattern making with bleach? The other thing I like to do, which I know lots of you do, is tea dyeing. And where you just put a bit of fabric in with some rusty nails and wrap it up and just leave it be. And it rains, and then you go back to it 2 or 3 weeks later, and oh, the patterns. And it's not just about, when I was looking at this and thinking what I wanted to do, I was doing lots of experiments. I was trying out on all different fabrics to see what it looked like, and like I said, all different shapes. But all those little scraps of fabric are now going to be used in my slow stitching. So instead of just having a plain piece of fabric on there, there'll be this little piece of fabric that you know has been left out in the rain, or in memory of that afternoon when you were doing your bleach experimentation. Or anyway, do you like doing that too, or is it just me? Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Have a lovely week wherever you are.